So good morning, guys. We are in the
Good
discussion
morning.
of visualizations. I hope you guys can able to hear me and see my screen. Okay. And yesterday, and we started completely on the more detailed level of the discussion of the visualizations. So in that, we have seen what is a card. We have seen what is a card visualization and what is a multi-row card. Then after we have taken a visualization called slicer visualization, correct? So if we see the slicer and we have discussed about the what and all possible with the slicer, and if you go to formatting option, we discussed about the selection control. One is a show all property and single selection property. Rest all will be same like a header, item level, details, background, lock aspect border, all we have discussed yesterday. So now assume that. So today we are going to continue with the what is hierarchy slicer, what is hierarchy slicer. Then after if possible, like we'll continue with the other this ones, other visualizations. So let's take an example. I have one more scenario. Let's take an example, one more scenario. So now if you say Australia, so this is showing fine 13,344 value. So now what I want to do, I would like to see the value like smaller base. For example, I would like to add a one more slicer here. Let's say I'm adding one more. With this slicer I'm just going to take the state names. Okay, and this is what about the second slicer, and you can use a format painter. The same formatting will be applied, and assume that within Australia I am taking as a Queensland. So now this is working fine. This is working fine. As you could see here, the numbers are minimized, which means this is for only within Australia, within Queensland. What is the total number of orders? So let's say I'm adding one more. One second. Yeah. So let's say I would like to go to the one more granularity. So I'm taking one more slicer, one more slicer, and then city. So this also I'm taking the same format painter and then applying this one. So what is a format painter? Use of the format painter then? It is same like a MS Word, Microsoft Office. Whatever the font and then color, whatever we applied for this above slices, it will be copied and then applied for the this one as well. So now I'm just going for the some random cities. So as you can see here, it's like these are the total orders for the like multiple selection criteria. I means we need to go to first Australia and then state and then city, and also more important thing is here we are using the three slices. More important thing is we are using three slicers which eating our space. For example, say this one. So this much space we are wasting only for the slicer. Of course we can a little bit adjust. Of course we can little bit adjust, but still we are taking the three slicers, correct? So the coming to the question, is there any possibility where instead of taking the three different slices, is there any possibility instead of taking three different slicer, can we go with the one slicer which will give the same functionality? So the answer is we have to go with the hierarchy slicer. So if we see here, we don't have a concept called hierarchy slicer. If you keep the cursor, you never comes to know, or we don't find here hierarchy slicer because it is as part of custom visual. So what is the meaning of custom visual? We need to download first. We need to download first and then add it to visualizations. Visualizations. That's it. So downloading in a sense like we need to go to the visualizations like portal is there, or what you can do, you can go to the click on import a custom visual option. You can import from there also. For example, import from file, which means already you have downloaded. For example, you saved in some location, then you can go with the import a file location, but I don't have at the moment. I would like to download from the like a marketplace which is similar to the Google Store or Play Store. So I'm just going for the import from the marketplace. Are the same two options available here also, from the marketplace or from file menu. I think we had a decent discussion about this one. So let's move on. I just click on the import from the marketplace. So slicer, as you can see here, so the one of the slicer is hierarchy slicer. I'm adding to this one. You will get one more icon here. Just keep see now. We got this icon. This is what called as a hierarchy slicer. We're going to see the what is the usage of this one. So okay. So since it is a hierarchy slicer, we have not defined anything here. Now same requirement I'm going to do like this. For example, taking country, okay, and I think we need to clear the filters. Okay, then after I'm taking the state also into the same fields, which is allowing. We don't have any issues. Then cities, which will not happen in case of, for example, slices. For example, let's say if you're trying to add the country, will it allow? No, right? It will override. So that is a problem with the slices. When we have the multiple filters or multiple hierarchies, we need to add one level of one. For example, first level Australia, second level state, third level cities. That's the reason you'll go for the hierarchy slicer. I'm sorry. We go for hierarchy slicer and see the difference. See the difference now. I'm just going to format option. Let me increase a little bit font. Only font. I will not be discussing about the more formatting option. Now see, when you go to Australia, okay, and when you go to Queensland, and when you go to the, let's say, Brisbane, okay, 389. Just keep a note of this number, 389. Same thing, same thing. I'm removing this one. I don't want anything. Okay, so now I'm just placing this one, and 1 second. Now expand this one. Australia, Queensland, expand this one, and Brisbane. See, 389. So that is what about the difference between the slicer and then multi-slicer. Slicer or multi-slicer. I'm extremely sorry. Hierarchy slicer. 1 second. Yeah. So any questions on this one? What is the difference between slicer and then hierarchy slicer? Bharat, are you there?
Yeah, no issue.
Perfect. So the next one is The next one is I'm taking as a one more. I'm not disturbing this one. Let it be. I'll take a fresh window. For example, this is card and slices, multi slices. The next one is we'll start with the simple examples and then we'll try to understand the more visualizations. So today we will target this at least first 4 or 5 visualizations. First 4 or 5 visualizations, which is very similar and which is very easy. If you understand one visual, the rest will be very easier. Some people already know the visualizations, but anyhow, I need to cover as part of this training. So the next one is, as you can see here, stacked column chart, stacked bar chart. Same way, clustered column chart and clustered bar chart, and 100% stacked column chart, 100% stacked bar chart. So let me list out. These all like looks like similar. For example, stack column chart. The sixth one is cluster column chart. The next one is, I think, clustered. One second. The order would be like clustered bar chart. Anyhow, both the ways we can type, doesn't matter. The next one is stock bar chart. Okay, and one more will be 100% stacked column chart, and the eighth one will be like 100% clustered bar chart. Sorry, clustered column chart. I think. One second. The first one is stacked bar chart. Stacked bar chart is there, and another one is, sorry, stacked column chart and clustered bar chart. This will be 7. The next one will be like clustered column chart. Where is the clustered column chart? This one. Same way we have a like clustered bar chart. First will be stacked, another one is a clustered, another one is a 100% stacked column chart, and 100% stacked bar chart. Perfect. So as I told you, if you understand the one visualization completely, rest 5 will be like it's a matter of time. It's a matter of time. So let's start with the stacked column chart and we'll try to understand. So charts, I could say I'm taking a second one, stacked column chart, and try to give the as much as possible, as much as possible. Now I'm taking with, like normally we have date wise also. I'm just going on the yearly basis and some sales amount column, or we'll go with the order quantity, how much quantity we got it. As it is a numeric, as it is a numeric calendar year, also by default is going for the values, so we need to force it. Don't go to value, go to the axis column. Clear my point? For example, if you don't like to go to yearly basis, if you go to country wise, it is string column, right? See now, by default going for the axis. By default, axis is nothing but, for example, I would like to see the order quantity. That's why the order quantity will go by default under value, because that is the value which we are looking for. That is what about the order quantity is going under value. Value is nothing but what are the values you are going looking for. For example, sales amount, order quantity, tax amount, or total cost, those kind of stuff we can add it under value column. The next one is, what is the axis here? How are we going to see the order values? For example, on what basis we are going to analyze? Is it country wise or yearly basis or quarter wise or state wise, something like this. So let me quickly increase a little bit formatting. Like we have x-axis, y-axis. This is a new. When we compare to yesterday's session or card, it can be a card, a multi-row card, a slicer, or a hierarchy slicer. We haven't get a x-axis and y-axis because here we don't have the axis concept at all. But in charts we do have x-axis, y-axis, right? So now let's see one by one. Generally, you guys know already. And x-axis, let's say this will be called as a x-axis. This will be called as a x-axis, and this will be called as a y-axis. Normal mathematics. Now whatever you want to do the x-axis properties, you can do it. I'm just changing the color now, see, and increasing the font a little bit. Now is visible. The country names are more visible now. And now what and all we have here. If you don't like x-axis also, you can minimize. The nothing will be visible, everything will be disabled. This is font family, you guys know already. If you want to change the border, like font of the text, you can change it. The next one is minimum category. Minimum category width, you can adjust the width how much you want, like minimum, max, something like this. The total width will be, for example, this is what width, right? This is what the width of this one. See this one. So here somewhat it's hiddening because I am saying that minimum category width should be 180, and if you, as soon as you reduce, automatically you will get a more width. Minimum category width, how much you want to be occupy the width of the that particular x-axis. So next one is, you can make it as a even minimum also. That is what the like best practices. Or if you want to revert back to default, you can do it. What is the minimum size? What is the meaning of this one? So usually the size of the x-axis will come, but anyhow, so this is least bother about this one, just ignore it. So padding already we have discussed in couple of I think in the card also we have discussed about the padding. Here also we have option called the card, and here if we increase, what is happening here, the little bit spacing will be happens, right? Yesterday same way here also we have a padding option. Padding is nothing but usually the space between the like multiple bars, we could say, like inner padding. Like see this one, and as the moment when you get the more space, the bars will be automatically reduced. So this depends on your requirement. If you make it as 0, every bar will be like merged, something like this. And concatenate labels, this one you can ignore it time being. Okay, so as I told you, so every month they keep on releasing the new features. We need to work on those features as well. And title, if you want to enable or not. So the name of the category, for example, see this one, English country region name column is coming up. So if you want to enable, you can enable this one. That is what about the title. The moment you enable the title, again only for title, what is the color, font family, style, text size, font family, everything will come into picture. So I'm just ignoring this one. And that is what about the important properties under x-axis. The next one is y-axis. Same thing here, is not at all visible here, y-axis. So I'm just going with the just normal. So it's visible now. And the alignment, where do you want, right side or left sides? That is what about the position and scale style. So log or a linear. Linear in the sense like it will be like as you could see the graph is automatically changing. When you go for log, the values one observation would be like 1 and then 10, 100, 1000, and it is not displaying the values under case. And also graph for a little bit, the expanding the graph automatically. Linear means very linear bars, I could say. So logarithm at log bars and then linear bars will be available. That is scale type. And also by default bars will be starting from 0. Default bars are starting from 0. Let's say you can start from the even 5000 also. So that is what about the start here. By default auto will be there. Now say this, see the graph is starting from 5000 and then going up to 21,000. That is the max value. Let's say Germany and then France. I think you guys still remember the value. Let me show you the value first. Go to data labels, enable. The position would be outside and where is the font? Yes. So see the numbers on top of this one. When the moment when I say, if I say my graph should start from the 6k, then we won't be getting these two bars at all, because this the value at all we have at the 56 and 5500. But if I say my graph should start from 6k, then how it will comes? It will not come, right? So we will check that one. Now go to y-axis, starting position I'm giving a 6000. Now you can see the difference. So no bars are coming at all. No bars are coming at all because of the starting position. I'm telling that my bar should start from the 6000 onwards. So if you say ending is going to 21,000 something. But if you say start end with the 15,000, end with the 15,000, see the bar will be ending at the 15,000, and on top of this one it will display the total values. So that is what about the starting value, ending value. But I would suggest to go with the default one. Based on the minimum value, and max value, the bar will be automatically expanding. Clear? That is what about the what is the stacked column chart. Now we have many more properties. Along with this one, we have many more properties. For example, scroll down the color. If I change it to different color, you will understand. See this one, y only for y-axis, please. Whatever you do, you're changing here, it will be applicable for the only y-axis, nothing else. And the font family, you can make it as a thick colors and decrease it, increase it. Same properties are. I don't want to waste the time. And how many decimals you want? Title, grid lines in the sense like little bit thickness will come. I think its color is white color. If you change it to different color, you will comes to know. See now the grids are coming on this. This is one line center. That is what about the grid lines color. And the stroke width, how much width you want, and the solid line or dashed lines. These all about the like grid lines. If you don't like grid lines, you can disable completely if you enable this one. So if you enable the title also, you will get couple of more properties if you don't like title. And make sure that we are under y-axis. Okay, we are under y-axis, so everything is applicable for the y-axis only. So that is what about the x-axis, y-axis. And data colors is nothing but only for colors. So by default color is showing, and if you don't like this one, you would like to go with a different color, you can try this one. The custom color also possible. You can go this kind of colors as well. And you might be thinking, can I change the color? Can I change the color for individual bars? For this bar different color, this bar different color, this bar different color? Yes, possible. Then we need to enable the show all colors first. Now by default, showing for everything is same color. Now change it for the different and yellow, and then for this one for some different colors, whatever you guys want. So this is how you need to change the color for the different bars, different bars. So you can disable this one, go to this one and make it as a revert to default. I think here we need to revert to default. Yeah. So now that is what about the data colors, and data labels. You can enable, disable the bars. If you enable the bars, these all properties will come into picture. Show background. If you say background also, see this one. Only for that number it will show some background. Let's say something called okay. The brightness should be how thickness it is. See this one. So this is what about the like background also we can add it. This is all about the data labels. We are good with the data labels. The next one is the plot area. Plot area. What is the plot area here? The transparency and add as an image. So the background image also we could add it. Before that, let me change it to y axis for the default. So y axis also I'm changing it to default. Perfect. So the next one is plot axis. Sorry, plot area. Plot area is nothing but, to be simple, it is a background image plus symbol, and I'm not sure whether I have any images or not. So I don't have much image. See this one. There is a one image I just downloaded in the background, or I will remove this one. Power BI image will be there. Now see, little bit background is coming. So usually whenever if you see the some printed papers, right, we used to have the company logos. We used to have the company logos. So but the company logo, it can be transparency can be set to thickness or the minimum also. See this one, how thickness you want to print in the page. So if you make it as a very low and very high, so that is what about the flat area is nothing but image. So we have options, right? Fit to the page and fill it, and the normal in the sense like normal image, like original image, and fit in the sense it will fit to that particular visual or page. Fill in the sense like background, like completely the complete visual width will be occupied. So that is what about the plot area. Okay, and the lock aspect you know already. I mean, you can ignore this one, and borders you can enable if you want, and title also you can enable it. So let me remove this background plot area. I don't like this one. Okay, bhai, no worries. So we started with the like couple of visualizations today, so you can easily understand. Okay, the next property would be in the same stacked column chart only. You know what is order quantity and you know what is the each country wise, but sometimes, as I told you yesterday, I'm taking different. For example, I don't want country wise. I would like to go for the yearly basis. It is going by default, since it is an integer number, it is going by default to value. Just drag and drop the axis, drag and drop the axis. So now so one second. Yeah, 2011 sales amount, 2012 sales amount, sorry, order quantity, 2013 order quantity and 2014 order quantity here. Now let's say I don't want this format here. So we got, even recently we got a custom requirement that. So what they want is like already you guys know what is a new column and the new measure, correct? Anyone have questions on this one? How to add the new column? So I'm going to add a new column which is nothing but, let's say, for example, year underscore like new is equal to. So what I'm taking here, I want to take the calendar year only, but I don't want exact value. I would like to take the only two decimals like 11 and 12 and 13 and the 14. Then so we need to use some functions here. So time being, I'm sure you can understand this one. This is a simple function. I'm using write function. Take only two characters from the calendar year. Okay. So click on the enter button. Click on enter. Now look for here, like you see this one, year new has got it. Now instead of normal year, if you drag and drop the year new, okay, remove this calendar year. Now see 13, 14, 12 and then 11. It is not, order is not coming properly. That's okay. We can sort by new year. You will get as a 14, 13, 12, 1, and you can again make it as a ascending order also. So now let's finish this one. What else we have it? If you want the bar order by order quantity, you can click on this one. See, which are the having max value by quantity wise, that is coming as a descending order. And if you want ascending order, then again go back and click on this A to Z or Z to A symbol. You will get it back. So rest will be same like a spotlight. You will get as a thick outside flashlight, and remove show all means bottom it will show the tabular report. See this one 2011 this much, 12 this much, nothing else, and back to the report. And export data means by default it will export to the CSV. Just save it. By default at the moment it will support only CSV from the desktop. Keep in mind Power BI desktop will support only CSV, but Power BI service recently last month they have released a Excel support also. Don't get confused, okay? And see the data. So that is not our topic. I was explaining about the how to add the custom call. Now if anyone see this number, they will get confused. Is it like a year or a month or a quarter, or what is this number? So we need to highlight this one. So I'm just going to same example. Keep the cursor in the year name. So before that, what I want is in the double quotation, and this is syntax to add the custom string before to the this one, and symbol should be the separator. And for example, now I'm just adding as a year or physical year, something whatever you feel. Fi financial year or calendar year, cy, whatever it may be. I think it's a cy, right? Calendar year, something like this, and give one space if required, and click on the symbol, or you can click on the enter also. Now see this one, calendar year 11, calendar year 12, 14, 13, and if you don't like the space, instantly see the space has gone. Or if you want to add as a year, complete year, so whatever your customer demanding, you can add it like this. See, year 11, year 12, something like this. So I'm just going with the cy, which is nothing but calendar year. So why I'm telling, this is what customers can ask us. So give me the calendar. If it is a physical year, they will ask you physical FI. So whatever you want, you can FI 11, financial year 12, 13, 14 and all. The next one is, we will understand what is this legend. And color saturation and tooltip. Before that, I'm adding couple of more columns. Right click on this one, new column. Let's say the quarter new I'm just adding. The quarter also I'm just going to add a string, for example Q, and then calendar quarter, calendar quarter, and Q1, Q2, Q3 will come, but I would like to know which year it is, right? Yes or no? So can we add this one also? For example, first you will see the output, you will understand. Listen carefully, it's very, very important. This is what we do in the real time. So now what I can do, I got one more extra column called quarter new. Okay, drag this into axis. So you won't be understanding anything here because nothing is visible. Nothing is visible because we are taking at the first at the yearly basis what is the order quantity. But the moment when I drag this quarter into legend, listen carefully. Please listen. The moment when I drag the quarter into like legend wise, as you can see, the one bar will be splitting into four colors or five colors or six colors, whatever it may be. I think it's only four because for year we have only four quarters. Now I don't know how many of you observed here. There are four colors here which is indicating. Let's do some couple of formatting now. So this will be called as a lesson. So this is appearing only when we have the lesson here. For example, if I remove this one, go to formatting. Do we have the lesson here? So that is what about the this one. So just drag it under lesson. So the next one is we understand the lesson. The one value will be splitting into four quarter because of the we have four quarters. Let me keep the cursor here. 7965 is a Q1 and Q2, Q3 value and Q4 value. Quarterly basis, the one bar will be splitting into multiple colors. So now go to lesson and try to increase the font. Same properties will repeat here. Lesson name. If you want to give the different name, you can give it. For example, I'm happy with the only quarters. And font, you can make it as thickness. Font family, bold. Now see, little bit better. Little bit better. We can easily understand the what is the color of those one. So that is what about the position. Where do you want to display? Bottom or top side? I think it looks ugly. Cambria something. I'm just giving the decent something. So that is what about the lesson here. Now let's say if you have a requirement, I want to break this again the quarter into months. Yes, you can. Yes, you can. So now my question is, I would like to display here when I keep the cursor. No, not this one. Okay, ignore it. If I continue this one, this topic will go beyond like this. So, but idea is to cover today this first six or seven charts. So that is what about the axis and the lesson and value we understand. So please practice it before coming tomorrow. See, think logically. For example, don't first practice whatever I'm explaining today and then think beyond the expectation. For example, I'm just dragging here, I mean country wise. Now what will happen? Try to understand, okay? And if I drag it in the state city in the axis, how it is behaving. So like this, do the R&D and you will understand better, more better way, more better way here, okay? And that is how you should do the R&D and lesson and something like this. The next one is color saturation. What is the meaning of color saturation? Let me remove this lesson. I have only four colors here. For example, by default physical year 12, 13, 14, and then 4 years data we have it. Now I'm dragging the order quantity into the color saturation. You will understand. Order quantity under color saturation. Now see, automatically it is like a thick color and little bit light color, little bit light color, little bit light color, because we have only 4 year data, right? Now let's move to this one. You will understand where we have more 6 or 7 countries will come into picture, right? So drag it this one. Now see, you getting my point or not? Based on the highest country, which are the country having highest value, that is more thickness, little bit thickness, automatically the value should be keep on change. Now let me change the order by here. Go with the country wise, you will understand. So now see this, the first one is more thickness because that is having the 21,000. 21,000. The second one will be Ariyash. The second one will be, this is the max value, that is why this is little bit thickness is there. Next one will be this one, something like this. So that is what about the color saturation. If you don't like color, now you might have got one more property here. You might have got one more property. Go to, I think, data colors. Now see, this will only appear whenever we have the color saturation. For example, remove this color saturation, go here, go to data colors, you won't get that diversity option. So if you have the color saturation, then only you will get that property. Go to the data labels, sorry, data colors. Even you can enable and disable also. Enable and disable also. The diversity means like that height to low will not come that much, this one. So by default, minimum and max only come, and you can enable this one and disable this one as well. So the moment when you enable this one by default, okay, diverging you can disable also, because if you enable this one you will get couple of one option here, center option also. If you disable this one by default, what is the minimum value, max value, color, that's it. Let's say I don't like this max color, I'm just going this one. So the center color I won't like, I would like to have this little bit, and minimum color should be, I think is not that much good. I will go with the default. Okay, enable this one, the max fine, but minimum value, the center color is coming as a white color, that's why we are getting completely white, this one. This also let me change it little bit. So something called like this. So you can change it. What is the highest color you want, medium center color you want, and the least color also. So minimum color is more whiteness. You can little bit reduce it. Little bit you can reduce it also, or back something like this. So that is what about the what is diversing value, like color saturation. You can disable this one completely, and this is the normal minimum value, max value also you can set it. Based on the color will be taken care up to that particular value only, nothing else. So anyone has any questions here? Okay, fine. So I'm just going for the revert to default value, and that is what about the color saturation. So we are good with the axis. What is the axis, what is the lesson, and what is the value here, and what is the color saturation. The see, always as I told you, you need to go for, let's say this bar is showing only English country reason name and order quantity. So this is what I'm talking about, is showing as a US order quantity only. Now what I want is, I would like to add one more here bottom. I would like to see the sales amount also. Is it possible? For example, here 21344 is coming. 21334, I mean 21344 coming. So this is order quantity. So along with the order quantity, can we display sales amount also in the bar? So bars at one time is difficult to display the more than one measure values. For example, if you go here, so if you go here, like I'm taking a sales amount under value. See now, it is overwriting. It is not allowing. For example, if you still force it again, like I'm taking as order quantity once again and drag it under sales amount. See now. So which means what will happen usually, whenever you want to take a more than one measure as a value. Then we have a sales amount column under tooltips. Now it is allowing not only for sales amount, for example, total product cost. Total product cost, I don't know where it is. This one, total product cost. So what are the extra measures you would like to add under value? That has to be go through under tooltips only. Because now keep the cursor. Now try to understand. We have a US and order quantity and sales amount and what is the total product cost. I mean how much we bought it and how much we are selling. So we bought for 9.4. I mean 5.4. It's almost like we got margin of the more than 40%. So that is what about the what is a tooltip. What is a tooltip? Color saturation and value and lesson and then access. So anyone has any questions here? I think we are good with the first visual under the charts. No questions? I guess there or not. Okay, fine. So the next one is I will make a duplicate copy. For example, right click, duplicate this page. This one, can we convert axis to line? You mean to say you want lines? So we have separate here. For example, there is a separate line chart is there and area chart is there and stacked area chart. Also line and stacked column chart. So that time we will discuss. If you're looking for line chart, you have to hold on for a day. Tomorrow probably we could continue discussion of the line charts. That is what your question, Abhay.
Can, no, sir, actually, can we combine both line as well as bar chart? Because sometimes we get the average amount, right? Average numbers.
Yes,
So
as you can see this one, are you able to see my screen?
yeah, line and stack. Okay, got it.
So
Yeah.
we have probably we can expect tomorrow or the worst case day after tomorrow discussion.
Okay. Okay.
Okay. So the next one is, as per our schedule, we supposed to go with the stacked bar chart. Second one will be stacked bar chart. As I told you, stacked bar chart is nothing. Let me remove this color saturation here. I don't want any color saturation. I'm just going with the default color. And sometimes if you see this, the bars are displaying as this way. What do you call this one? Is it vertical or horizontal way? Okay. So if you don't like this way of representation, you would like this kind of bars. Okay. Horizontal, vertical, vertical to horizontal. Then we need to go with the stacked bar chart. Then click on the stacked bar chart. See now, everything remains the same, and the axis will be become as a, for example, y-axis become a x-axis now, and x-axis become a y-axis now, and then the values are still data bars is coming up, and then bars are wherever more values are there, still everything is there, but only difference is, as you could see here, One is a straight bars, another one is a horizontal bar. I mean vertical bars, another one is a horizontal bar. So if you go to values, for example, selecting this one, axis, legend, value, color saturation, tooltip, everything we have discussed. If you go to formatting option, general, y-axis and x-axis, data colors, data labels, plot area, everything will be 100% same properties whichever we have it. Whatever we discussed on the stacked column chart, stacked bar chart also will be same. Stacked bar chart also will be same. No change in that one. So the next one will be clustered column chart and clustered bar chart. I'm repeating once again. Whatever we discussed just now, that is a stacked ones. Stacked in the sense whatever we just now discussed. Now, one thing I would like to highlight here: whenever we have a legend, let's say when I go for state wise, this will not allow whenever we have more than one message. It will not allow. So now see this one, only this point. If you understand this point, why we are getting more colors, I think somewhere we hard code still is coming as a quotas. I think maybe our legend name. Okay, so still when I take the one country, I'm just splitting multiple colors because I have those many states. When I keep this one Washington, and when I keep this color is Oregon, this is California. Okay, and if you understand this one bar splitting into multiple colors, that is what called as the legend in the stacked column chart. Even the stacked bar chart also will be same. That is what about the stacked ones. And now I have taken already duplicate copy. In this duplicate copy, when I click on this one, clustered, you have to understand what is stacked and then clustered, then is very easy. When I say the moment clustered, okay, the 100% same. When I click on the stacked column chart, listen very carefully. Stacked column chart or clustered column chart, the both are same. The difference is when you go for legend, for example, I will go with the yearly wise where we have very limited values. So we have this one, I don't want this, and quarterly wise legend. So this is what about the stacked one. The same thing when I convert the clustered column chart. Listen, what is happening here? Is there any difference? This is what called as a stacked. This is what called as a clustered. The clustered is nothing but number of clustered, which means number of bars. So if you one year, as you can see here, 2013 year. So we have almost like a 4 quarter data. That's why the 4 bars are coming. But in physical year 14, I think we don't have any orders for the rest of the quarters. Is showing as a blank here. Same way here also, as you can see, 2012, we have very limited amount. That's why showing as here. So that is what about the difference between the clustered and then stacked. Stack is nothing but one by one. Within a one row, within a one bar, everything will be remain. But the clustered is nothing but bar by bar. Like first one, second bar, third bar, fourth bar, the one value, the year will be split into multiple bars. That is what about the clustered column chart. And this is anyhow, what is the difference between the chart and then bar. I mean column and then bar. So I'm converting this one. See this one. So one is a horizontal, another one is a vertical. So that is the only difference between the both of them. So if you go and check the properties, axis, lesson, value, color saturation, and tooltip. Color saturation and tooltip. So that is what about the 100% same properties. Not even single property will come as extra. The only difference is based on the customer needs. You have to take a call which bar to give. Sometimes what will happen, the customers will be, if any they're technically strong or business people, they will ask you, or they will give some sample Excel file, and is it possible to have the same kind of graph into the Power BI? So you need to analyze the Excel file, have a look on their bar, what are the requirements they are giving. The Excel sample bars will be given in the Excel file. You can replicate the same into Power BI as well. So if they're not giving anything and they said I want a kind of bar, they're not very keen about the what kind of bar they're going to have it, then you can suggest them. So go with this clustered one or go with the stacked one, and based on or you can give it 2 3 examples and you can showcase them. So if you go for the clustered one, this is what will come. If you go for stacked one, this is what will come. Which bar you want, you can have a call with them, or you can discuss with anyone, or you can finalize. That is what about the bars here. So I will take another 5 minutes of time. It won't take much time because the continuation will be continuation. Because if you're stopping now, again tomorrow we're continuing the stack. Again, I need to give the background for these 4 charts. So that's why the next one is 100% stacked column chart and 100% stacked column. I think I copy pasted same. One is a, yeah, column chart and then bar chart. So bar chart, okay. The next one will be, and the only difference is, as you can see here, always 100%. Doesn't matter how much you are getting the bar value, always your bar will show to 100%. Now let's remove this lesson. Now try to understand, this bar is like almost filling this one. So assume that this is the 0% and this is the 100%, this is the 100%. Okay, this bar is full, but this one, the second bar is starting from the 0% and is going to hardly is like 10% only, not even 10% bar. This is also like 9% bar, this is 8% bar only, but rest of the percentage, it is like a blank only, the white space is coming up, correct or not? So here also there is a white, nothing is coming up. So nothing is coming up. It is clearly differentiating. It is clearly differentiating. I have value only this much. This look and feel is good. But sometimes what will happen? We don't want to differentiate. Always my bar should be like completely filled. Like this also filled, and this also should be filled, and this also should be filled. I'm sorry. So if that is the case, then what you need to do, you need to go for the 100% either stacked column chart or stacked bar chart. So you know what is a column and then what is a bar now. I'm going for the stacked column chart of 100%. Now see this one. So see this one 100% and this also 100%, this also 100%, this also 100%. But still access lesson value and drag the fields here, color saturation. Tooltip, no changes. If you go to format also, x-axis, y-axis, everything will remain same, only look and feel will be different. If you ask me when to go for 100% stacked column chart or bar chart, the answer is very simple. Whenever you don't want to showcase the bars in based on their value, always you want to showcase as 100%, then you can go with this one. But where is the value showing here? It is showing auto quantity anywhere. For example, go here and make sure of data labels already is got enabled, but let me decrease or something. Is it showing somewhere or not? So it is not showing. It is not showing at all. For example, orientation vertical, this one I'm talking about 100% only showing here, but what is the number like order quantity? We're taking order quantity as a value, right? But if you convert this into normal stacked one, so you can see the numbers, but that doesn't happen in the in case of 100% stacked chart. But if you keep the cursor, on the screen, now you could able to see everything. For example, this is what this one, the sales amount and tax amount. But on top of each bar is difficult to display the order quantity values. Now the last final one, 100% stacked bar chart. The only difference will be you will get this kind of bars. Okay, you can just ignore these two. But only difference is bar will be filled as 100%, nothing else. Rest functionality will remain same. So most of the cases, first four will be most frequently used ones, along with the line combinations, which we are going to discuss tomorrow. So that's all for today. That's all from my side. We are discussed. We are good with the I think 7 we have discussed today, and also for the custom visualizations. So if anyone has any questions, you can ask me or good to drop. Bharat, any questions? You can unmute and talk to me if you guys anyone talking.
No, Bala.
Okay, so I need to upload yesterday's video, today's video. I will convert it and I will upload max to max end of the day. And if you have any questions, you can touch with me on the WhatsApp. Thank you. Bye bye.